Yes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome along back to the Disco Arms. And the cans and the bottles in front of the bar here. Oh, I'm still festively calling the Disco Arms, even though it's 2.5 weeks, well, 3 weeks late, pretty much, isn't it? Yeah, Christmas is gone and dead and buried, but I'm bringing it back just for tonight, if anything, because I've got these beers in. I kind of want to get through them. And I thought this morning I do kind of fancy a stout tonight because I've done a lot of content this week, done a couple of live streams, and they've all been pale beers pretty much. So I thought, well, let's get some porters and stouts, get the balance, the equilibrium right, even though if I'm unbalanced by 3 weeks. Mr. Wilson, good evening to you. Thanks for popping in, sir. If you've got a beer when you're joining us, do let us know what it is. I am clearing out my beer stash. I'm going to start with this one, a little porter from Siren, and it is called Miracle on Marshmallow Mountain. I did originally, or rather this morning, I had this in my head that it was called Miracle on Christmas Mountain, which is why it's in the Christmas beer lineup, because I like to get these things all aligned, being that the other two have got Christmas in the name. It doesn't matter, I did buy it for Christmas anyway. Because it came from a order of Trembling Madness with all the other Christmas beers, and as for there's HSB, hairy sweaty bollocks. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Let me do the photograph, as you say. So haven't had a Siren beer for quite some time, so I'm pleased to get this one in amongst the Christmas stuff. Chocolate and marshmallows kind of Christmassy in it, and the can art is as well. I had a lot of trouble with the photos yesterday. Light's a bit better today somehow. Say 18 photographs and see which one's the best. Nice head development on that. It's gone down a bit, but it's generally staying. Always quality from Siren. I'm wondering if this basically is going to be Broken Dream with a bit of marshmallow extra sweetness in it, which is not really a bad thing, is it? I'll get to focus. There we go, that's better. And having said that, that is slightly dissipated a little bit. You got one as well. Yeah, so I seem to remember seeing this a while back in supermarkets, just called Marshmallow Mountain. And I think it was in Morrison's, which is a little bit too far away from my liking. So I never did wander over there and pick it up because, thought it'd be all right, but never got round to it. So let's see what we've got in here. The head is gone now. I'll probably put it in the wrong glass, but it's an India Rabble glass because they're only kind of down the road. There's some big cocoa notes on there rather than coffee or chocolate or anything like that. It's not bad. Let's get a slurp. Cheers and enjoy the beers. I also keep forgetting it's listed as a porter, not a stout. Hence, slightly thinner than body than I was expecting. Not quite so voluptuous, but nonetheless quite velvety, quite smooth, kind of. I would say a good porter for me, as a kind of bourbon biscuity note. There's not much coffee on it for me for this one. Definitely a bit of chocolate. I'm not really sure where the marshmallow is. There's a little bit of sweetness, maybe a little bit of that kind of pink marshmallow kind of fruit, kind of berry note. It's good beer, don't get me wrong, but then it's my kind of thing. A little bit of roastiness on it. Not much towards bourbon biscuits for me, but it's Siren. It's going to be fairly good quality, although there's an argument about how close they go to the supermarkets, whether the beers in supermarkets are as good as what you get elsewhere. But that said, quality Siren. I like the sweetness on it. I like that kind of slight berry note. It's quite slight berry sweetness as well. It's definitely one, if I'd had it over Christmas, kind of want it sitting by the fire or whatever, munching on some chocolate goodies. Like the can artwork, as always. Siren keep it fairly simple, but often have some good artwork going on. Good vibrant colours usually. Even some of their duller cans are kind of quite bright. They use gold a lot on the lettering. Probably don't need to look at the date on this one, even though I've punched 4 out of 8 beers, but these were bought before Christmas, so I just saw 29th for the 10th, 24, and I'm like, nah, surely not. But no, they've swapped it around. The best before was on the top line, 29th for the 10th, 25, so we knew that would be okay. Not the easiest to read, black on kind of violet purple. This is a rich, sumptuous porter, packed with flavours. Chocolate is layered throughout the beer with special Venezuelan cacao nibs. Just said I didn't really get a lot of coffee. I mean, it is there, but it's quite... It's not faint, but it's there, but it's like balanced. And the kind of marshmallow sweetness takes over a little bit with that kind of fruit note. So yeah, definitely a little bit of coffee there, but it's not full-on bourbon biscuits that I'm expecting. Accentuating the caramel and biscuit notes from the malts. Marshmallow mouthfeel is creamy with a hint of vanilla. I never get vanilla. Guaranteed to put a smile on your face. Well, it does. Yeah, it does put a smile on my face. 5.1%. So fairly sessionable. And yeah, generally quite solid. I'd like to, I presume they do it on cask or keg mill. I'd like to see it in an actual proper pint. There is a biscuity note there from the malt. It's not heavy. Some people won't like the sweetness on that, I think. I don't think it's too sweet. I've never found a beer that is too sweet. But yeah, solid porter. There is a slight chocolatey cream kind of note going on in the background. I wouldn't say it was massively voluptuous. It's certainly not particularly creamy or oaty. Did we see oats? Let's have a look. Yeah, oats, rye, and lactose. Okay. So the lactose bringing the sweetness, which is mere suggestion of marshmallow without actually any marshmallows in it. And just whatever malt base they've used to get all the other flavours. The rye in there is interesting. Maybe that's where... I think maybe that takes it away from the biscuity notes I'm expecting, but there you go. Still solid enough. Nearly the end of the week, nearly the weekend, of course. Hope everyone's got through the week okay, and looking forward to the weekend. Back to normal weekends, really, for me, working on a Saturday. May or may not. Don't know, depending on what everybody else is doing. I've got a few beers for Saturday night. It's Burns night on Saturday night, so for the last few years, I've completely missed doing any Scottish beers, and I haven't really got that many Scottish beers in. So I might indeed do that on Saturday night. I did say I was going to do the Instagram post live tonight, but then that will mean too much concentration. So I don't know if I'll get a chance tomorrow because I'm at work. I might just leave it until Monday. Being that it doesn't matter. And also, I imagine everybody else is off already. I'm seeing a lot of party stuff already. I thought it was tomorrow that it comes out, but unless there's been some sneaky little pre-deliveries, I was just on Instagram earlier, and it seems that lots of people have already got putty, but I'm marked safe from worrying about putty. As I said last night, I can't be bothered really. I've got far too much beer in to drink and plenty of double IPAs. So I do like the can art this year, though. They've prettified it a little bit with a few extra colours, so it looks all right. It's unlikely I'll see a can just randomly out in the wild, so I probably just won't bother. But I'll look at everybody else's. What I've seen so far, it looks a decent enough double IPA, but I just don't trust it not to be overly hoppy. Well, I know what it's going to be like because I had the triple last year, didn't I? But yeah, but yeah, good. Everybody get on the putty. I'll read all the reviews of it and go, yeah. I think, yeah, I won't be on the beers tomorrow. I don't think I might have a day off tomorrow. I was off last night. Didn't have a beer last night. Could have done well on watching Argyle. Less said about that, the better. But yeah, and up to the weekend. Yeah, day at work tomorrow. In yesterday, in today, in tomorrow, doing probably getting set up for like brewing next week, I think, and getting set up for the weekend. I thought I turned notifications off, so I got notifications, started reading. That's not good, is it? Many apologies. A few check-ins on Untapped. Yeah, I was on Instagram, so there's a few things going on already. I guess either they've sent some stuff out to people like early doors, or I misread it and it was Wednesday. It was yesterday they sent them all out, and obviously if they get them enough going out, they get them on an overnight. And people have picked them up this morning and done the reviews and that already. Yeah, it's on the website already, so you can already get hold of putty, should you want. It's putty time, it says. And already sold out, it would seem, on the website. But on the header screen, it says it's putty time. Shop now. Yeah, no, it's already sold out on the website, so they went out yesterday. Oh, it's a bit naughty, but there you go, whatever. A 6-pack for 42 quid. 7 quid a can. That's why I'm out. But no doubt they will be in and around shops. You can pick a can up accordingly. I think they get sent out to shops for today, so like people will get hold of them early. That's fair enough. I haven't even got a shop around here that would stock them, to be fair. Like the event, I get out to any shops nearby that would do them, but yeah. Hey ho, Mark 3 from a putty. Maybe try a keg and from keg. I tell you what, like I said, talking about being on keg, I wonder. There is a possibility Hop and Vine because he had light bulb on this week from Verdant, and he often has some other stuff. So, but I don't think it's a beer that will go down quite so well there. So he may or may not have a keg. but we shall see. But yeah, not rushing out for it. Would I rush out for this? If I saw it somewhere, I'd definitely have a pint. It's worth it. It's getting more chocolatey and voluptuous kind of as it goes down. It's got that chocolatey sweetness going on. A little bit of marshmallow background. Still not heavy on the coffee, but it is more like coffee, like creamy coffee, I guess, rather than particularly bitter or roasty coffee. I like a chocolatey porter, so it's pretty good. I washed it down fairly quickly, so it must be pretty decent. As usual from Siren, so yeah, fair play. Let's see if I can do that. I was going to do it. I was going to do live when that was the plan. Do live beer reviews up on Instagram. But nobody wants to see me typing. I'll have to think about it and do it tomorrow. Done some more numbers this week. Managed to get up to 900 on Instagram and gone over 600 here, mostly thanks to Henry 420 up in it. But just not really started on the Siren Advent beers yet. I thought you'd gone through them all before Christmas. But fair play. Don't leave it as late as I do. You don't have to do them through Advent. That's the thing. What people don't realise. You don't have to do them one after the other. In December, you can do them anytime you like, really. Just thought something. Here we go. HSB, the first one from the Fuller's Advent. Oh, right, really? Wow, I thought you'd gone through them already. I love HSB. It's possibly one of my favourite ones from Fuller's. I've said before, over and above ESB, certainly over and above Pride. Yeah, we used to call it Hairy Sweaty Bollocks down in Portsmouth. So mate who lived down there, a couple of mates who lived down there, we used to go down there for a few beers way back in the day. So yeah, I'd be getting on the HSB. Solid sessionable ale, that is. Crikey, that brings back some memories. Most of which I can't tell you about, most of which I can't remember. But yeah, love a pint of HSB down on the coast. And then we used to call it ESB Extra Sweaty Bollocks, but that was a little bit unfair on the beer, to be honest. Mind you, Airy Sweaty Bollocks was unfair on HSB because it was a good beer. In terms of affection, more than anything. Tell you what I didn't do. And you said about it, completely forgot to do the banner. So, yeah, 5.1% chocolate marshmallow porter from a Siren. And that was beer number one. So we shall get this down my neck. Cheers. If you've seen the thumbnail, you will know what's coming next. Is beer number two, please. Beer number two, sticking with the Christmas theme. I've talked about this brewery and possibly this beer a fair bit back in the day. I don't ever remember committing this one to video though. I think I've only ever done it on Instagram. Just crawl back a little bit through the YouTube. I've never done a video on it, but it is from my dearly beloved Brass Castle Brewery up in Malton in North Yorkshire, and it is their Christmas version of a beer they called Bad Kitty. This is Christmas Kitty. Bad Kitty is solid vanilla porter at the best times. This one's got all the added Christmas goodness. It does pour a little thin often, I kind of generally pick this one up every year around about Christmas, and then never get around to doing it. But fairly simple on the can art, as you know. Brass castle the same. With the right way up, is it upside down? Or rather vertical can art on the name, which annoys me slightly, but it means you can't. I want it clear and simple, bit of can art and a bit of that on the front. I think I've pictured this plenty of times on Instagram, so I'm not sure I actually need to do this one, but I'll do the photo anyway, just for completeness. Getting a little bit solid on the photographs. Actually, I'm going to have a little clear out at some point. Certainly on the old laptop for videos. I've been sitting this week moving them over, so I've got space for the next video if I ever get around to doing it. But I still need to space, first of all. Oh, let's get the Brass Castle logo in there, of course. Brass Castle cans are always quite bright and shiny, so very difficult to get the photo right, but still we try. I do have that shiny on the silver lettering, so that one's come out all right. Ooh. So I beat you to it. I wasn't even looking. Yeah, the HSB, I've only really had it on draft. I must have had a bottle. I've probably been in a pub with a bottle somewhere, but so I don't really remember too much on the difference. This one, not particularly much on the head development, which is unfortunate. First time I had this beer was off cask at GBBF. So, sorry, the first time I had Bad Kitty, not this one. I don't think I've ever had this on draft. But from what I remember, solid Christmas beer. Let's dive in, see what I can smell. Yeah, big dark malt base. There's a bit of fruitcake going on there, I would say. Yeah, it's kind of not quite cinnamon. There's a little bit of raisiness going on. I can't remember off the top of my head, despite having this beer several times before, exactly what the adjuncts are. But let's see what I can taste. Cheers. I did them this way round because I know there's like something like, Christmas spices in this, so I thought that would be the first one will just be sweetness. This is more about the spices, so I didn't want to do this one first and not be able to get anything out of this one. But I think that big sweetness of that first one is kind of still at play, even though I try to wash out between, give a little palate a little refresher. Yeah, I like the aroma. I like that fruitcake kind of aroma. And there is a little bit of fruitcakey kind of roughness going on the palate. I think there's some kind of there's definitely a bit of cinnamon in there, but I think there's some kind of more spicier. What's the word I'm looking for? They're all spices, but some more savoury kind of spices going on. Definitely that fruitcake note coming through. There's a touch of raisin in there, so it's definitely going more Christmas cake than Christmas pudding, to be fair. Obviously, without the lactose, so not as smooth as the Siren, even though that wasn't that smooth. That wasn't velvety or voluptuous. It was kind of smooth with the lactose. This one's a bit more, I like to say, rough around the edges. Only a touch of brown sugar kind of roughness, and like I say, a touch of Christmas cake kind of cakiness, crumminess. But yeah, probably it's another one to sit around a fire with a lump of Christmas cake and a big a big chunk of cheese, and it would be a solid sipping night out. This one says a robust porter. Now I usually use the term robust um, quite often. I didn't on this one, but it's more about the festive spices than that. Gluten-free. All Brass Castle beers, I believe, are gluten-free. Going to look for the ingredients alongside, obviously, the barley, wheat, oats as well. Good. Doesn't say what the hops are. Again, I wish they would because they're pretty good information, Brass Castle. 5.5%. You see on the ticker. Again, quite difficult to read with that kind of sort of dark pink on black. Yeah, no, vanilla. Yeah, see, it just says that's annoying. It says vanilla, fair enough, but then it says festive spices, but not what they are. Not what those festive spices are. You're left guessing, and it feels like there's some unusual ones in there. Yeah, it's just a nice beer. There's a little bit of slight berry fruitiness coming through with the currants now. It feels like there's something odd like mace or like cumin or something rather than just the usual kind of like festive spices like cinnamon and stuff like that. Might be some cloves or something in there as well. I'm sort of slowly getting around to picking out some spice notes because we've been doing mulled apple juice on the bar, so we bung in the cloves, star anise, cinnamon sticks. Last year it was ginger. We didn't put any ginger in this time, so yeah, I'm not sure what the festive spices actually are in there, but they're definitely there, definitely present, definitely come through. It's definitely robust rather than smooth and velvety. And again, not much on the biscuity note. Definitely more cakey. Yeah, all good though. All good. Definitely a long sipper. I do need a big chunk. I bought some cheese earlier. I'm not eating on camera, not if I can help it. But yeah, I've been drinking Brass Castle for a long, long time. I've been going fair while actually. Up in Malton in North Yorkshire. I think it was one of the I started doing drinking at home cans for orders. It's one of the earliest orders I got in, and I did order a fair amount of cans off them because every month they were knocking some really unusual beers. They've got their core range, which I've never really been massively fussed on. Not that they're bad beers. It's just another pale ale. It's great, so try them, but it's not something I go back to on a regular basis. Their porters and stouts, on the other hand, the Bad Kitty I go around to on a regular basis. They didn't do it this year, but at Christmas they normally do a cherry and almond golden ale. I think it is. I think it's a cherry and almond golden ale, like some kind of Yorkshire cake, like. And yeah, sort of. Always usually get this one. And Higgy Figgy I didn't get this year. Normally they're fig and date porter. I didn't actually get that this year, and I can't remember if I saw it or not, whether it was out. But yeah, so I've kind of first year for a while managed to not get any Brass Castle in apart from this one. Adam, thanks so much for popping in. Good to see us. See, Plymouth had a good game the other night. He's like in preparation for Liverpool yet next month. Yeah, I actually sat and watched all of that and nothing else to do, and I did it sober as well. Didn't have a beer last night. I wasn't really feeling it. Having on a couple of lives, but yeah, 5-0 at home to Burnley. Fucking Burnley. Source got relegated at Turf Moor, so I've always had a healthy dislike of Burnley. But yeah. So the Liverpool game. So I've got the camera sorted out. I've just got to get the logistics sorted out. Whether we can do some content on that. For that, we'll have a chat about that if I may, Adam. I'll come back to you on that. I haven't forgotten. I know nothing's ever that simple with me. Just turn the cameras on and talk. But yeah, I've got to work out where I'm going to do that if I can do that. So I'll give you a shout in due course. I've got to speak to the boss tomorrow. But yeah, it'll be interesting, a fun chat about. See, this is the thing. I don't think it will be well, we've got a lot of changes between then and now, obviously, with the new manager in, and we got a lot of players to come and go. Yeah, the going notwithstanding, but yeah, a few other players to come in. And well, like I say, the last time Liverpool come to Home Park, it was the tightest 1-0 I've ever seen. We were within the inches of a post to equalising. It went out rather than in. But yeah, so you never know. It could be interesting, or it could be a massive goal fest. I'm fairly easy either way, but yeah, I'll be watching it. So we'll yeah, try and get something together. I'll give you a shout on it, Adam. You got a beer on tonight? Got anything in the glass? As you see, I'm on the beloved Brass Castle on the Christmas kitty. Yeah, Sunday at 3 o'clock. I kind of thought that was coming because both Liverpool and us have got games in the week before and after, so that was always going to happen. Plus, it's probably always going to happen anyway with like. I've seemed to always do fairly well on TV in the Cup. I don't know why the Brentford game wasn't on there, but I don't know whether that will affect whether you can do something or not, but we'll work it out on ITV. Yep. Although, yeah, that doesn't affect me because I'll be watching it online because I don't own a TV on account of not having a TV license. And it's like one of the others. It's like I'm not sure which one comes first. I've just not owned a TV for years, and this place, yeah, Disco Arms does not have a TV license, so I don't watch TV here. I'll go and watch it online at a place that does have a license because I'm a good law-abiding citizen. Only doing moist January 1 day a week, which will be Sunday. Fair enough. I shall be doing dry January in 10 days' time, I believe. No? Oh, God. Don't know me dates. Yeah, 8 days' time I'll be doing dry January, I think. No, that'd fall on the weekend. That don't work. I'll do dry January and February because it's shorter. Don't have to do so much work then. I've got an idea for a lineup for dry January. I don't like to do it at the start because everybody else does it at the start. I'll do it at the end, and then like I say, I'm doing dry January for the rest of the month. If I can do it on the 29th or the 30th or something. Well, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff on a Sunday, isn't it? Is there a non-league game before that? Fair play. But fair play getting out for a non-league game as well. All good. Yeah, I'm still not sure about the spices in this one. I wish they'd sort of put it on there, to be fair. I could probably ask them, hey, let me know. But oh, I see what you mean for drinking, right? Yeah. Good stuff. Which a non-league team of choice, Adam. That's an interesting one. It's Tranmere. I don't know. I try to remember in the league. I've lost track of League Two and below recently, not being anywhere near it. So that's a bit pretentious, doesn't it? But there you go. Aintree Villa. Superb. I have heard of them, just not for a long time. Aintree Villa have a County Cup game at 1:30 this Saturday. Fair play. I've not been down to my local non-league team for a long time, but there's a bit of a local derby coming up, I think, in the Cup. Mind you, that might be this weekend, so I won't get a chance to do it because I'll be on the bar on Saturday. I don't know whether I'll do a video or maybe a live on Saturday because we've got some wassailing business to do. There's a bunch of apple trees up the farm, and they do like to do their local traditions and customs, appealing to whatever the old customs and traditions of singing to the apple trees to promote good health and good harvest of the trees. So that will happen. I won't be singing and dancing around the apple tree, and they pin toast to the apple tree and drink cider. I might be drinking some cider, but I'll be on the bar. So It's free entry and bring your own ale and your own seat. They're playing at AFC Knowsley. That sounds like a good deal. Free entry and you can bring your own beer. Don't get that at Anfield. Shark, good evening to you. Merry festivity-ness. Yeah, a little bit of late festive action just to get the beers out of the stash so I don't sit them there till next year. Because you know what I'm like. I will if I don't just like force myself to do it. Slurpee, good evening to you. Thanks for popping in. These are probably your kind of beers, a little bit anyway, I would think. That was a beautiful watch over breakfast this morning. Slurpee doing breakfast beers or like morning beers. Was it 4 or 5 pints before midday? That was quite some going. Fair play to you. I bow to thee, O beer master, for getting that in. I haven't thought about a beer before 12 o'clock for a long, long time. But I think I should maybe give that a go at some point. But after about 5 pints before 12, I won't be able to point the camera, let alone focus it or anything like that, even though it does itself. It would be fun to give Santa Festive some more. Well, I didn't decide to dress up. I've taken all the decorations down because I didn't have any up, so I didn't fancy putting them up again. Well, you see, yeah. Did you get it? Did you give up at 1 o'clock and go for a sleep, or did you carry on? I bet you carried on. Fair play. What a day out! What a day out that was. I have to emulate that at some point. So yeah, this festive kitty, festive porter from Brasscastle over in Moulton in Yorkshire. It is definitely a robust porter. Hasn't got the smoothness. Needs a few more oats, probably like another bagful. It's got some good sweetness developing lately. After that, it's started off only a touch on the coffee, but whatever those festive spices are, I'd like to know. Definitely cinnamon, but there's some other stuff in there as well, probably like cloves and star anise, and possibly some random ones as well that give it a bit more slightly savoury kind of note. Which, it's not a bad thing. I'm fine with that. Very interesting. But also, it also still there, comes and goes. That kind of Christmas cake kind of thing. Not so much on the raisins, but certainly that robust, slightly rough around the edges, a little bit of brown sugar roughness on the tongue. But yeah, £3 a pint at 9 in the morning. Well, fair play. Why would you want to go anywhere else? So this would be good. This would be good around a roaring fire, even at 9 in the morning. I do like a breakfast porter. I would struggle on anything too light, but yeah. Well, I don't know about that. I'm certainly I'm persevering. I don't know if I'm a dab hand because I was still late tonight, and the old snozzer still blocks up halfway through. And I think I'm quite good at getting a theme together. But it is at the expense of videos. I started a video last weekend, and I thought, I'll get that all bushed together. And then I ran out a little bit of storage space on the laptop. And so that's not happening until maybe next week. But yeah, and I'm already starting a video before that. So yeah, it has come at the expense of actually getting videos out. But, well, at least I'm talking about beer. That'll do. What can you say? Not handful, but you do get a mighty Halton Stairlift Golf Centre. The most randomest ground name ever. Oh, I don't know. There's the Wham Stadium. That's fairly random. What is that? Is that Stevenage? I think. Yeah. Once you start getting sponsored stadium names, the Halton Stairlift Golf Centre Stadium. Yeah, that is fairly random. I'll give you that one. Yeah, there's the Wham Stadium at Stevenage. There's my favourite one is Shepshed Dynamo, who are at They've got a very weird name. It's something like but something lane, but end lane. It's not butt plug lane, but end lane. Shipshire Dynamo. That's kind of randomly weird. It's Aintree Golf Centre crown, but Haltonstead is sponsored everything for them this year. But it's Aintree Villa. Yeah, once you get these sponsors involved, it's kind of like, what was the other one? Bolton's one is pretty weird. What's Bolton? It's something like the Clean Sheet Stadium or something. No, it's not Clean Sheet. It sounds like it could be a bit disgusting. Bolton is the Sheer Sheet Stadium or something. Oh, it's a good one. That's brilliant. I've been binge watching that series about medieval football. It's called A Game of Throw-ins. Tough Sheet. That's it. Yeah, the Tough Sheet Stadium. I think I went there the year before it became the Tough Sheet Stadium. Can't get in. Tough Sheet. Yeah, that's pretty random, I think. Yeah, you've got it. Tough Sheet. Tough Sheet Stadium. I'm going to look up Shepshire. I think it might be Butthole Lane. It's Butt something Lane. No, it's the Dovecote Stadium, but it is on. Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's the Dovecote Stadium, but it is on Butthole Lane. No, it's not Butthole Lane. I'd be really good at these anecdotes if only I could remember shit. No, it is Butthole Lane. But yeah, it's the Dovecote Stadium on Butthole Lane. Shipshed Dynamo. What a great team name as well, by the way. Or as the locals call it, Shitshed. Oh, good man. Yeah, some good stuff coming out of there. I'll have to go to their tap room at some point as well. Wigan is random now as well. The Brick Community Stadium. That is random but not as funny, but yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of random stuff about beer and football. Not a good bedfellow. It's a Tough Sheet Stadium. Evans New Ground has been in the Shy Talk Stadium. They got a ground. No, they've got a firm of solicitors, Norfolk and Good. Norfolk and Good Stadium. That only really works when you write it down, but not so much when you say it. Yeah, it looks better when you write it down. A Norfolk and Good Stadium. There's actually a brewery, I think, in Australia called Norfolk and Good, I believe. Do they? Yeah, I believe so. The Wankdor Stadium. There's a whole bunch of teams that have names like that. Actually, I don't know. That's in Germany, isn't it? Wankdorf. There's a lot of teams like that in Germany. But yeah, I was only thinking of British stadiums. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of overseas ones that are just as funny. Anybody else? You got any Christmas beers left? to do. Who else got a beer on? Let me know. Yorkshire County Cricket Club haven't they a stand after their star test batsman Ian Bell? They've called it the Bell End. Wasn't that Man City? Isn't that the thing about Colin Bell? Wasn't it the Bell End at Man City? Was it Main Road or was it? And he said, yeah, definitely Main Road. I think that was one of those urban myths, wasn't it? A bit like Captain Pugwash. I'm sure that's right though. It kind of rings a few bells. Yeah, Man City. Right? Bell End. Bell End is a little village in Staffordshire, I think. I stopped there on the way to Staffordshire. No, it was a bit further south. I stopped there on the way to Shrewsbury, a little village called Bell End, based around the Bell pub. Yeah, Colin Bell. That's the man. Right, I've got one more beer for you. Let me get this one down. Not a lot of lacing, in fact, on either of those, which I was a bit disappointed after the good lacing yesterday. I'm going to smash these. They're decent beers, but you've got to take your porters and stouts a little bit easier, aren't you? David Wilson has moved on to Vault City Sugar Plum Spritz, Black Plum, White Grape, and Cherry. Sounds good to me. But again, in a sour, and yeah, interesting work. That's some kind of unusual adjuncts there. Sounds good. A lot going on with that beer. Yeah, a lot of fruit and probably a lot of tartness. Fair play for giving it a go, though. I think get onto Vault City if I can, but I've avoided Vault City because they've got so much stuff going through. Their output is so phenomenal, and it's like I don't need that much sour beer, even though some of them are quite sweet and all that. But yeah, Vault City. Love their stuff, although I picked up a couple of their stouts. To be fair, they come out with a big stout every now and again. So fair play. Right, let's get this down my neck. Cheers. That was a Christmas kitty from Castle Brewery in Malton in North Yorkshire. That was a 5.5% festive vanilla porter. And so let's get on to beer number 3, please. Cheating slightly with beer number 3 because it includes getting high on my own supply, and I have talked about this beer before. I've talked about this brewery before. It is the now YouTube famous Perivale Brewery. And one of 3 Christmas offerings this year. It is the Christmas Pudding Stout. 7%, but only in a 330ml can, so that covers it. Put it in a fancy glass. It's actually a Czech beer glass, so I'm not sure that's quite appropriate, but it's a Czech brewery that does some unusual stuff rather than just the regular Czech lagers and stuff like that. This is a Czech craft brewery, so it kind of works. Yeah, loving the can art on that one. The fade on that, on the colours. Most of Perivale's breweries are just kind of blank, bright colours. But once you run out of colour palette, our designer Mike has gone into little fading, which I really rather like. I think it looks great. Bear with me. I know the beer. I know there's a lot more aroma to that than I first put it under my nose. That is a big, more so than that one. It's actually more Christmas cake than Christmas pudding on the aroma. On the aroma, it's got that kind of, yeah, it smells like cake. Smells like Christmas slice, a big slice of Christmas cake. Oh. And I don't think it's too far away from that one because it's got very similar Christmas spices on it. Cheers and Merry Christmas. It's a little bit of cheat me doing this review because I've had several pints of this up the brewery, so I know exactly what I'm getting. It works. Get a big cakiness up front, and then there's that kind of raisin, touch of rum. If you douse your Christmas cake, Christmas pudding, in a bit of rum and set light to it, that's kind of there. Those spices come through. Definitely cinnamon, and that kind of slightly boozy Christmas cake, but also Christmas pudding kind of note. It's just, it's got the smoothness. It's got the smoothness of that and the robustness of that on the flavors, and that slight rough around the edges, but a big, slightly gooey, smooth middle. The cinnamon's coming much more through on the aroma now. I've faded the other way round as bottom matches the. Okay, yeah, no, I see. Me and the designer have had long discussions about design work, and that's why he's a designer and I'm not. He also put pastry stout on there, and I'm not sure it is, to be fair. It has got the smoothness of a pastry stout, but it's got more Christmas robustness of those kind of cinnamony flavors. Oh, I've missed a gag. Sorry, Slurpee. I've been having Viagra and prune stout for breakfast. I don't know if I'm coming or going. So, if that's a hard one for you to work out, there's a good reason for that. On the bar, we've also got one which I've not actually got around to reviewing. I only got around to reviewing the year before's. But it's a honey, a big honey pale ale, like almost an imperial pale ale. We call it a braggart because it's somewhere between. It's got so much honey in it, somewhere between a pale ale and a honey beer. It's 7.5%. But if you have that one first, that's got all the sweetness, and that one's got all the Christmas pudding kind of flavour. But no, I haven't done. Actually, I don't need to because I can do the photograph at any time for this beer. Well, I say any time. We've got about 6 or 7 boxes left on the bar, on the website. It's available for purchase. Although I have sent some out. Yeah, still like to do the photograph anyway. No, actually, no. A bit better. I better get the photograph right on this one. That's the boss won't be happy, do you know what I mean? Yeah, there we go. a brewery you probably won't have heard of. Vic from the Czech Republic. A Czech craft brewery doing more than just the usual Czech lagers and stuff like that. And a very good gooseberry ghost from them in September. Oh, I'll tell you what, there's a little bit of booziness there. Kind of rum and raisin booziness. It's not one to be smashing down. It's one to take your time over again with probably a good slice of cheese or something. Possibly a slice of Christmas cake. There's a little bit of cinnamon sparkle going on. That's kind of helps with that kind of robust flavour. If my review of this beer, a much better review. If you've probably all seen it, but go and check out Rob at Mr. B's. What's he called now? Mr. B's Backroom Brewery, because I sent him a can and he had that at Christmas. And I'll put a link downstairs after the event. I forgot to queue it up, but yeah, he did a review of this over Christmas. I really enjoyed it because he said that it doesn't really like that kind of heavy spice note, and this one is kind of a bit more gentle. I slightly disagreed. I think it's definitely noticeable, but it is balanced, I think is my word for it. But yeah, Paul was on last night. This is one that Paul was talking about in Tuesday night stream. Who was on a can of it. But it is a kind of late night, a beer to kind of finish on. And yet still there's people starting on it at the brewery. You know, I served a pint of it at 12:10 the other day, and I went, "You do know this is 7%?" He's like, "Yeah, man." Correct answer, fair play. But yeah, it is a big boozy number with those rum notes, raisin notes, and that big kind of stout background, that maltiness, that cakiness. And yeah, it's completely different. Although based on a regular oatmeal stout, there's no oats in this, and yet it still comes up fairly smooth. Our other one, Very Breck, is a big smooth and oftentimes a very, very cakey, more like gatto cake beer. This is definitely more like Christmas cake, Christmas pudding kind of thing. So yeah, that's it. Christmas done now. I don't think I have any more Christmas beers left as such. Got a couple left from that order, but that was different. So yeah, now we can put Christmas to bed, I reckon. And after this 7%, I'll be pretty early into bed because I've got to go up and down at the brewery and do some probably more cleaning tomorrow. Easter next, yeah. Yeah, I'll do Easter beers. It'll just be chocolate stouts, won't it? If I can find a chocolate pale ale, then maybe so. You never know. Yeah, Shark Easter. I'm up for checking that out. It's early this year as well, isn't it? It's fairly early Easter, I believe. Bear with. That's weird. Cleared the nostrils and got even more raisins going on. April the 20th. Oh, not that early then. Fair play. I don't even know what I'm doing for the rest of this month, let alone blinking April. Sounds Swiss chocolate stout. The main course for the live. Did we not do that at Christmas? But even so, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's fine. We can pick some of that up, I think, fairly easily. Yeah, I haven't even thought about Easter. I just got over Christmas. Mm. Oh, as a winter warmer, fair play. Fair play. yeah, so that is Christmas at the Disco Arms completely done and dusted. Although I've still got several kegs and 6 boxes of cans of this to get through. So if anybody wants any, you know where to find me. Give me a shout. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there because I've done an hour. Take this one quite early. Who's dressing up? We're getting David to dress up in Easter. If you get him to do that and be online, I'll shake your hand. So fair play. But yeah, thanks very much as always, everybody, for dropping in. Cheers, you guys. Been brilliant. You make it enjoyable for me coming on stream and talking, waffling about beer and saying what I see with beer. Yeah, on to the next one. I'll be off tomorrow night. I think might do something Saturday if nobody else is on, or I might do some stuff on whatever. Might do one Sunday night as well, and I've got a couple of ideas for next week, so we shall see what happens. That has been the New Life Show number 52, last of the Christmas beers. I've had 3 solid beers. Not first 2, not amazing necessarily exceptional, but yeah, it's been a good night of. I fancy the Stout tonight, so these have been good. You guys have been great. Thank you very much indeed. I've lost the stream. No, there you are. Yeah, so until the next one, cheers and enjoy the beers.